So I think it's pretty clear so far that the team builder concept that EA came up with has been an awesome concept in theory, but in practice, right now, being that it's just a beta, hasn't been so great for everybody. That has never been more apparent to me than it is in my comment section on the video where I taught you guys how to build a team from scratch. So many of the comments were either bugs, issues that people were having, or questions that people were trying to get, past certain things or couldn't figure certain things out. I wanted to make this video just to give you guys some tips and tricks that will hopefully make the experience smoother for you. If you're running into a glitch that EA hasn't fixed yet, I do apologize, and I hope that they do soon for all of us. Hopefully these tips that I'm going to give you guys will help you guys to get through some of these issues, some of the questions that you guys may have had. Maybe this will answer some of them. If it does, be sure to leave a like on the video for me because it does help out a lot. And if you're here already, man, you're already my homeboy. Hopefully that you'll decide to subscribe and stick around with us. But let's jump into it. I'm going to get rid of this face cam for you guys. So the first tip I have for you guys is kind of a 2-in-1 tip, and it has to do with the school info right here. As you can see, you start off with the team name EA Sports, but let's say if I wanted to put in something like Delaware A&M, right? And, I put it in because a lot of you guys might want to make an agricultural mechanical school, any of this stuff, A&T, anything you might want to put here. It is not going to allow us to do that, right? As you can see, it'll give us an error as soon as I go to save. Please try another text. The reason for that is because you cannot have that ampersand in there, all right? So it is not going to allow me to actually move forward with anything for Delaware A&M because, again, it does not like any of those symbols being in the team name. Now, the next thing under school info that I wanted to talk about is the city and state, right? So the city obviously doesn't matter very much, but the state that you choose, you would think that maybe it would matter, right? If I chose Delaware, that my pipeline would be New England, right? Because that's where Delaware falls. But that is not the case. What matters is the school that you're replacing when you actually get your team imported into the game. Now, I know I mentioned this in my previous video, but I'm mentioning it again because I have gotten this question quite a bit. So yes, any state that you choose here, at least for right now, unless they change this in the future, right now though, this does not matter for anything but just, just for aesthetics, I guess, for you, just so you know where your team is located. But as far as your pipeline for your recruiting, it is going to go by the team that you replace once you've imported your team builder team into your dynasty. Now, the next tip I wanted to talk about is the apparel brand, right? So now you're going to have 3 apparel brands here, Adidas, Nike, and Under Armour, but it's not just a matter of picking the brand and going with it. This actually will change up different things that you'll have access to, right? So for instance, it starts us off with Nike, but if we wanted to go to Adidas, you're going to notice right off the bat, a couple of things are going to change here. First thing is your nameplate font and your number font. You're going to have access to different types of fonts depending on the apparel brand that you choose. Another thing you'll notice is that if I have Adidas, if I go over into uniforms, let's say I go to my home uniform and go to jersey, this is going to be the only one where you'll notice you'll actually have a custom stripe on your jersey where you can actually change the color of it, everything. You don't have to have it there, but it is an option. It's the only one. There are others that have different jersey designs. That's the only one that has a stripe in that, where it's at though. So, that is one thing to keep in mind. Another thing too is if you go, let's say we chose the Under Armour, we go back to the jersey, now you're going to see that you're going to have a bunch of other options. And another thing you'll notice too, if we make this a little lighter, is this is going to be the one that's going to have, like these areas here of the jersey where they kind of tighten up, right? There's just going to be a lot of different things that you can change with the stitching and with the jerseys themselves based on the apparel brand that you choose. That same thing holds true for the pants as well. Now, you're not going to see, huge differences with the pants, but for instance, if we've got the Adidas pants, you can see here that we've got these areas on the pants, where, there's just different stitching and, different types of pants that you can choose. Now, while we're on the subject of your uniform, I did want to actually throw this out there for you guys. Now, a lot of people have been telling me that they've had an issue with their accessory color not being what they want it to be. They're asking me, like, where does this accessory color come from? It actually comes from under Stadium, the crowd color, okay? If you change this crowd color to a certain color, that's going to be your accessory color, but I've noticed that it is very buggy like a lot of the things early on with the team builder here. So what I've noticed that works 100% of the time is if you have a team and you want to use your away uniforms and you want them to have, the all black accessory, black will work every single time. So if you just select both of these to be black, this will be your accessory color. The same goes for white. If we were to choose a white accessory color and apply that, boom, all of a sudden now, if we choose it for both, that will be our accessory color. And black and white are the only two that have worked 100% of the time when I've tested them. Others work sometimes, but not always. It's kind of weird, you know, and I know this is annoying right now, but until they fix this and actually add a place for accessory colors, this is the way that you can change that. And since we're already here in the stadium tab, and under general for the stadium, here's where you're going to choose the stadium that you want to use. Now, one of the things you'll notice is that if you choose a stadium like Minnesota, like I chose before, you're going to see their branding all over the stadium. This graphic that I have up on the screen here, I found this on Reddit, and big shout out to whoever, you know, found this or figured this out, because I was really looking for this. As you can see, these are some of the stadiums that you can use that have minimal or no branding, at least that you're going to see, so that you can make it feel a lot more like your own stadium. You can see like Akron only has an A on the scoreboard, and if you, let's say hypothetically your team, you know, starts with an A, that will help you anyway. Cal is a great one because I used California's stadium, and you can't see anything when you're in game. Cincinnati, Hawaii, both look very blank. Kansas State's another good one. Memphis, New Mexico, you know, these are all good ones because, again, this is something to keep in mind if you want to use a stadium that, you know, make it feel more exclusive to you. Now, another thing I've seen people asking about a lot is how to get, you know, these, you know, this text in your end zone. First things first, you're just going to make sure that you add a text, you know, logo into your custom logos, right? So if you can make it in Photoshop and Pixlr, you know, Midjourney for AI, whatever you guys want to use, you can use it. And, you know, just to make a text like the one I have here. And then what we're going to do is, now you'll see, you may run into this. If I say like right end zone, left end zone, midfield, it's not going to show up, right? One of the tricks, and shout out to the person that actually put me onto this in the comments. I'll put their name on the screen because I don't remember exactly who it was, but big shout out to you. If you go under existing and then you choose the EA logo, boom, it's going to pop up immediately. Then I can go to my logos and I can switch it to the Dell Tech logo, and then there you go. Boom, we are good to go. Now if I hit right end zone and then I just resize it, we are cooking, my boys, as you can see. So go in and use the EA logo first and then replace it with yours, and you will be good to go. Of course, left, right, up, down. You can, you know, you can change all this stuff as you see fit, but you know, this is just how you would add it into your right end zone. Now, staying with the topic of logos. So, some people have asked me about getting the logo across the chest. Actually, you'll see here, I actually have it on these home jerseys, but I don't have it on the away jersey. So, we'll put a logo across the chest here, you know, and it can be a logo that's on the collar. It can be, you know, typeface. It could be like a, you know, text if you want it to be, whatever you want it to be. As long as you have it uploaded to your custom layers, it will be able to be put there. Now, if you see here, if we go to add a custom layer down here at the bottom, we've got these images uploaded. So like, let's say if I wanted to put the DT here, or, you know, the lightning bolt was already there, but the DT is a little more visible. I could put that there. I could scale it up or down, and I can also move it to be like right under the collar here, as, you know, and I know I showed you guys some of this in the previous video, but again, I've got this question a lot. Now, if you wanted to make this your type, you just change it to the you know, whatever text you have, and then scale it up, and then boom. You can see here, we can actually, you know, and you could, this is set to custom for the placement, but you can make it chest. You can make it right chest. You can make it the collar, you know, left chest. You can put it even on the shoulders if you know, if that's where you want to put it, right? You could even put it on the back if that's where you want it to be. If there was something that you wanted to have on the back that you wanted it to always be there, right? But we're gonna change this back to custom. And now, as you can see, I can just, you know, move this around until it's at a place where I like it. Now, another thing that you could do, let's say I like it there, but I feel like it's too close to the numbers. I can actually go in and just move the numbers. If I go, I know that these are the numbers that are on the front. If I go to position 1 front and go to advanced placement, then I can move these wherever I want them to be. I want to move them down a little bit, and boom, there you go. We are good to go. I like the way that looks. I would probably even move the Dell Tech down a little bit, but this is just to show you guys that you can do this or how to do this. Now, of course, while we're on this topic, I guess we should talk about some of the bugs that you might run into, and I know you guys have run into a lot. I just want to put this out there right now and make it clear. I have been in contact with a rep at EA who is apparently passing on all of this information that I have sent to her to the development team, and hopefully this is all being worked on. I mean, I've been told that it is, but again, you know, it seems like we are still running into a lot of the same issues. So, you know, all we can do fingers crossed, my boys, that they are working through all of this stuff, but I can assure you, everything you guys have sent to me, I have sent to her. I mean, I probably sent literally probably like 40 emails just over the past like 4 or 5 days. Now, here's one of the errors that I was hoping that I would get, right? You're going to see sometimes where it'll say, your team violates our content policies. Please return to TeamBuilder and check your team's helmet. It might say helmet, might say jersey, pants, whatever it might be. All you have to do, and this is what I've noticed so far, go back to your helmets and just change something. Whatever you change, you can change back. But just go on here and change something, right? So like right off the bat, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to remove the lightning bolts on both sides, and then I'll put them back later. But if you see, now if I go to submit, let's just see if that works. That could be one of the things that will work. And boom, there you go, success. Now this is another one of the errors that you might get, and why we're getting these, again, I am not sure. The dreaded Ajax error and the unknown error occurred. You might get those if you just hit retry. Oftentimes what I'm noticing is that this will solve that issue. Why it's happening and why the retrying it solves the issue, I am not 100% sure, but in a lot of cases it will. You might actually have to hit retry several times, but at some point it will eventually work. Another thing you could try to do is actually switch to a different browser. So right now, like I'm in Safari, you could try to go to maybe, Chrome, Firefox. You could even try going to Opera. Just try different things, trial and error, my boys. That's what it all really boils down to. And as you can see, I know that this might be a little annoying, but I'm going to leave this up here just so you can see that this is about to succeed just from me hitting retry one time. And again, I'm just going to stay here. I'm not going to cut anything because I don't want you guys thinking, that I'm manipulating anything. As you can see, it's going to the uploading the images. And boom, there you go, success. Now, why it does that is anyone's guess. I don't know why, but as you can see, we have now submitted it just by hitting retry. And again, like I said, there's been times where I've actually had to hit retry 4 and 5 times before it actually gives me a successful upload. But again, this is just the nature of the beast right now. Now, you saw earlier that we had to remove the lightning bolt from both sides to actually make that work. Why that we had to do that, I don't know. But as you can see, I'm going right back in and adding the lightning bolts right back to the helmet. I am also adding the custom stripe, and for those of you guys that don't know how to add a custom stripe, if you just have a stripe like this, whether you made it in Photoshop or you found it online, all you have to do is actually put that you want to add it to the back of the helmet, and then position it. First of all, we're going to size it all the way up, and then we are going to position it to where we want it to be, and I'm going to have to actually combine 2 stripes for this to make it actually, as long as I want it to be. And then, as you can see, though, we're going to position this thing all the way until it's right about where I want it to be. Right about there is perfect. And again, I'm going to add another one just to make it, look the way I want it to look. Right there, that's going to have to be perfect. There's a little bit of a gap in there, but you're not going to notice that because it's at the top of the helmet. And then boom, we have our custom stripe just the way we want it, at least the way I want it. And yeah, I like the way it looks. Now that we apply that, we can actually go back and upload these again, and it should work. Actually, let me bump this down a little bit and put it up a little bit so it's not coming, off of the helmet at all. And boom, there we go. Let's apply that. So now we hit submit. We had to take those off earlier because it was telling us that there was a problem with our helmets. Again, not sure why it's telling us that, but if we submit it now, and boom, there you go, success. And if you guys don't believe me, you can go and search this under Real Steve, and you can find this exact uniform, the exact same uniform that it told me was violating their content policies earlier for the helmet is now uploaded with no problems, my boys. So as you can see, sometimes just retrying is all you have to do. You just got to be persistent with it. Now, the last thing that I want to show you guys, because of the fact that I have gotten this question a lot about uploading your images. So if you are having a problem uploading an image into the TeamBuilder, if you're getting some sort of error, I haven't gotten any errors, and I'm going to tell you why, right? So if we go right here into Photoshop, I'm going to pull up Photoshop, but you can do this with any program that you're using. Now, I brought in this image that I found online. Shout out to the creator because I think it looks fire. I love it. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to use the object selection tool to actually select the, bear's head here. And, that way we can isolate just the bear's head. Like I was showing you in the previous video, if you just invert the selection, it'll give you everything outside the bear's head selected, and if we hit delete, we get rid of it all, and then boom, you have just the bear's head selected. Now, let's say I wanted to save this to use it in TeamBuilder. You are going to save it as a copy. Now, when your save as a copy window pops up, or, you know, just your save window, depending on the program that you're using, you are going to want to make sure that you either upload this as a JPEG or a PNG. PNG is preferable. A portable network graphic. That is what you are going to want, okay? The format of the file that you're trying to upload could be why you guys are getting errors. I'm not saying it's definitely why, but this is one of the things that you'll want to check out if you are getting this error. Make sure it is either a PNG or a JPEG. Those are the two file types that I have had zero issues with when using TeamBuilder, right? So boom, I'll show you guys real quick, just, you know, so you guys can see that this is real. Now I'm going to go into one of these teams that I've been working on for somebody, one of the members of the channel. And let's say if I go to tertiary logo and I want to actually upload the logo that we just made, boom, confirm. And then we're going to go find the Grizzly one. It's saved to the desktop. Boom, Grizzly, upload. Now, as you can see, it is uploaded with no issues. I mean, it took a few seconds, right? But it's uploaded with no issues. It is right there for us. And again, reason being is because it is in the proper format. Another thing you're going to want to keep in mind is that you do not want it to be over 512 kilobytes. It will not upload if it is. Hopefully, some of these things will fix the issues that you guys have been running into and, make the TeamBuilder a lot smoother for you. But the last thing I wanted to mention, because it ties all of this together, is that as you can see up here, if you look at this name, Real Steve, this is my name for EA Sports, my EA Sports account, right? That is not my gamer tag. If you guys are having issues finding the team that you've uploaded, you may not be searching under your username. So make sure you're searching your username and not your gamer tag. EA is going to be looking for that name right there, the EA account username, even if you're in-game, in College Football 25. And then the only other reason I can think of, if you're unable to find the team that you're looking for, the team that you have uploaded, the only other thing I can think of is if it says draft like this right here, that means that a change has been made and you have to go in and submit it again and re-upload it. And the thing with that is that if you do make a change and it says draft, you might be thinking, well, wait, I already uploaded a version of it. That version should still be there. No, it doesn't work like that. If it is a draft, it is literally going to remove the previous version that was there before, and it is going to wait for you to re-upload it again. Now, if you had it downloaded to your game already, and you saved this as a draft and you edited something and it's saved as a draft, if you already have it downloaded, it'll still be there in game, right? But if you go to search for it, it won't be there. You have to re-upload it again. These are the only two things that I could really think of for why you guys might not be finding the teams that you've either uploaded or you're trying to upload. So I hope that, some of this stuff helps you guys to make the experience smoother. Either way, I'm going to continue to try to update these videos to give you guys more tips on how to make this work. Because again, I mean, the amount of, feedback and questions that I got on, the first video of how to build a team from scratch, it was staggering. I mean, so many people were running into issues and bugs and things like that, and it made me feel sad, honestly, because this is such an awesome concept and I want to see it working really well for everyone. So I really do hope that some of these tips have helped you guys. I hope that I didn't repeat anything from the last video. I'm going to keep this going until it's working well for everyone. Anything that I come up with, man, I'll pass it along to you guys. I go through and I try to answer every comment, especially questions that I get, and I read every comment. So if you still are dealing with something, it may be something that I have not figured out yet, but keep all those questions coming because I'm going to try my best to get you guys the best information that I can, wherever I can get it from. But anyway, man, thank you boys so much for clicking on this video today. If you had a good time, consider leaving a like and consider subscribing if you're new here, because we have Dynasty coming up really soon. By the way, I am going to give you guys all the details in the community section about #AddPlayer so that you can be part of the Dynasty, that I'm starting up on the channel here with everybody. It's going to be the whole community, man. I want all you guys to be involved in some way, any way possible. Even if I have to put extra teams into the Dynasty, I'm going to make it happen. And we're going to try to get you guys drafted into Madden, into the NFL if we can as well. That's the goal. But yeah, thank you guys so much for all the love and support lately. We'll be back very, very soon with Dynasty, TeamBuilder, more videos, just everything about college football, and 2K as well is coming. But again, so much love to you and everyone in this entire community. I'll catch you boys in the next one.